Hey all, this is Nia Tate. Welcome to my channel. Hope all is well with you. Please subscribe to my channel, like the video, and comment below. I'm here to do a review on BMF, Black Mafia Family, Season 1, Episode 3. So there's a lot that went on in this episode, guys. This series moves really, really fast, and it's one of those series where you gotta pay it. You can't be on your phone and doing other stuff watching because you're gonna miss something. That's just how fast it moves. I do like that, so it's a good episode. If I miss something, um, just put it in the comments below. So let's start out with Meech and Pat. Meech meets up with Pat, who is Wood Harris. Not Wood. Yeah, Wood. Because you know they got two brothers on here. Steve Harris plays the cop, and Wood Harris is the kingpin that Meech and them work for. So they meet up with Wood. He meets up with Wood, and he goes to the car, and he gets in the car, and the car seats are covered in plastic. Very neatly done, but the front seat, the back seat, everything's covered in plastic. So Meech like, okay, so what's going on? Because it looked like something about to go down, and they just gonna have to, so the blood won't soak the seats and stuff. So Meech is sitting there, and he looks over and he sees that Pat has a gun on the seat. So Pat tells him, man, what's wrong? You don't answer your pager? What's going on? I've been trying to reach out to you. And so Meech tells him, well, Terry got shot, and I've been dealing with that. So Pat tells the driver, the guy in the front, and says, man, tell him what I say about personal problems. And the driver says, personal problems are excuses. And Pat say, exactly. He say, man, y'all late. Y'all late on y'all payment, right? And so he's like, me just like, man, we've been behind before. It's all good. He said, yeah, but y'all ain't never been this behind. He said, I'm giving you 6 days. And Misha was like, what? He said, I want my money in 6 days. And he put his hand on that gun. And so, he dismisses him. So once Meech gets out the car, the driver says, man, they never gonna make up that money, right? They way too far behind. And Pat said, well, that's what I want. He said, I know that, and that's what I want, so I could keep my foot on their neck so they could stay working for me. I said, oh. Next scene, we go to the house, to Meech and Terry's house, and Terry is back home, so they're having a little breakfast celebration, and the pastor is over there giving a blessing and a sermon, and y'all, Snoop Dogg is the pastor. So he giving some, the good book words and all of this, and their mama is just, how some women, they just be all enthralled in the pastor, right? She just looking at him like he the best thing since sliced bread, and but you could tell Meech's daddy, the daddy is like he okay with him being there, but he kind of like, okay, this dude right here. So while they said the prayer, they all holding hands, and the mama and Snoop, the pastor's holding hands, and the daddy looking at it the whole time. So I mean, I don't think the lady messing around with the pastor, but you could tell the daddy, he don't trust this pastor. Um, so they asking him. Meech comes in. So Meech comes in after the prayer and all that, and so the dad is like, he pulls him aside. He said, what you doing here, boy? And he said, I'm coming to see Terry. He said, you don't live here no more, you just walked in. He said, let me see your keys. So he gave the daddy the keys. The daddy took the house key off. He said, now next time you come over here, you knock, because you don't live here. So they went back, and they're talking, and Pastor Snoop say, I don't know what his name is, but anyway, we're gonna say Pastor Snoop. Pastor Snoop say, how you feeling, Terry? You look good. And he was like, yeah, there was some complications with my second surgery. And so the dad tells him, yeah, he said, we're not really sure what happened, but we think they made a mistake. And so the pastor was like, well, if they did make a mistake, they should definitely pay for that. You should be compensated for that. He said, my niece just finished law school. Let me give you her card, and she'll be glad to keep it on contingency. And he said, contingency mean, and before he could finish, the daddy said, I know what contingency mean. So the dad is not here for the past at all, but they did take that card. So I guess they're gonna try to which they should. If they messed up his eye, they definitely should be paid for that. So we see next, Filmer's crew is there, and Lamar is out there with them. So one of the guys in Filmer crew is, kind of, strategizing and whatever. And Lamar said, because they thinking that Terry and Meech, the 50 boys, did something to Filmer. Now at this time, I don't know. I assumed Filmer was dead. I didn't know what was going on, but they just said he, at this time they said he out of action. So I don't know if he missing or what. I don't know where Filmer at. So um they saying that, oh, we need to go over there and fight, knock, we need to get back at the 50 boys right now because they probably the ones that, did something to Fimo. So then Lamar pipes up, and Lamar's like, nah, 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 that's not how you handle the situation. You need to hit them where they hurt. You need to hit them with at they supply and at they money. So Lamar's side guy, I don't know his name, the guy that he was with last week, he was like, y'all need to listen to Lamar. Lamar been out here, way before y'all was born. He know the game. So one of the crew member that was trying to, take the lead, he was like, oh, so we just supposed to listen to him? He said, well, all right, it'll work until, but only until Film will get back. And so the camera span to Lamar just got this look on his face like, I guess that make me king. 'Cause y'all don't know, but y'all work for me now. So the cops go over to Terry and Meech's house to question him about the shooting, and that is Steve Harris. I forgot his name. Detective Ryan. Him and his friend. I think his name is Gonzalez, his partner, or whatever. So they're over at the house and they asking questions. They're like, the car, the whole window was blown out the car also. That's a real nice car. It's mostly Detective, I think his name is Gonzalez, the other detective. He the one answering most of the questions because remember, Detective Ryan is crooked. Totally crooked. And so he's saying, that's a really nice car. And a lot of times, because we got to remember, Meech and Terry, they still in high school. They like, what, 15, 16 years old, whatever. So the cop is like, most young guys with cops like that is drug related. So the girlfriend, Terry's girlfriend, pipes up because Meech is not there. This is just Terry, his girlfriend, and the mom and dad. So the girlfriend pipes up and said, "That's my car. My uncle bought me that car as a for my at my baby shower. He gave it to me." So, Gonzalez, the detective Gonzalez said, "Oh, what's your uncle name and where he live and stuff?" So then the mama is like, I don't like the way this questioning is this going. Terry is a good student. He's never been in any trouble, and why are you treating him like the perpetrator instead of the victim? And she said, this is over. This question, this interview is over. So when they get outside, the detective asks Detective Gonzalez asks Detective Ryan, what was that about? And so he says, oh, it's just a mama bear protecting her cub. He said, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you. Why you wasn't asking no questions? So now he gets suspicious of Steve Harris. Next we see Kato and what's his name? B Flip. What's that boy name? B. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The little guy that they work with. B Mickey. Kato and B Mickey is on the corner over by the factory, and they ain't making no sales. Matter of fact, security told them if they pass around here one more time and y'all just hanging out here, I'm gonna come back and call the police because they ain't but one thing you and your pimp could be out here doing. And B Mickey flipped. He was like, "Oh, you talking to her like that?" And she's like, "Calm down, calm down." So finally, they go ahead and they tell Meech. Meech goes over there, and Meech is asking them because they ain't making no money, and remember they gotta pay Pat that money back. So Meech was like, why y'all ain't tell me this before? And you could tell that there's some tension between Meech and B Mickey. He talking to him all rough and stuff because remember B Mickey the one popped J-Mo last week without Meech permission. So um, Meech is like standing there, and he just kind of like looking at the area, surveying the area, and he noticing there's a food truck on the lot that all the guys are going to for their lunch. It's lunchtime. And then he notices this other food truck that's outside the gate, and it's this black guy, and he's, just, ain't nobody there. And he just sweeping off his, truck, wiping off his truck and stuff. So the light bulb kind of goes off in Meech's head. He's like, we could do something with this. So let's go over to Lamar. Lamar's over there playing with his daughter at his baby mama house, and they over there playing Monopoly and stuff. This girl, she still like him. She got to, because you already know that that's not his real her real daddy, and you know what he do for a living. Like, I don't know, and she's supposed to be messing with Meech, so I'm starting not to like her. So the little girl, she tells her daughter, she said, "Come on, it's time for you to go to bed. Say your goodbye." So the little girl says, "Are you gonna come to my tennis match tomorrow, Daddy?" And so he was like, I'm gonna see what I could do." And so when she walked out, he was like, "You heard her? She called me Daddy." So he was touched by that and all of that. And so the baby mama was like, "Well, you know, I don't know how I feel about this, because I don't want her getting too close to you. What if you go back to jail, or get hurt or something, or basically what she wants us to get killed." And he was like, he held her hand, and he was like gazing into her eyes and stuff with his crazy self, talking about, "I can guarantee you nothing's gonna happen to me. I'm here to stay. I'm here for you, and I'm here for her, and I'm here for you." I'm like, okay, why you got this crate anyway? So we go back. We go to the police station. Detective Ryan and Detective Gonzalez. That's what I'm gonna call him. I don't know what the other detective name is. Anyway, he asking about J-Mo, because apparently nobody has seen J-Mo, and so he goes to Detective Ryan, and he like, you know anything about this guy J-Mo? He said, "You should know him. It's on he's on your beat. You claim you know everybody, on your beat." And so Detective Ryan gonna say, "Nah, I don't know him." And so the cop was like, mm-hmm. So their supervisor calls him into the office, and it appears that there's a new sting that's going on, and the state police are involved in it. It's a new investigation. So they are bringing in this new, they got a new boss. Everything have to go through her. And so Detective Ryan looking over there real sick, because Meech and them paying him to protect them and to give them information, and now this gon' this gonna tie his hands. So the other detective was glad, he was happy, because he see that something not right. So now they got a whole new pair of eyes. So this gonna be a new issue for Terry and Meech. So we go over back to the factory, and Terry and Meech are meeting with the food truck guy that I told you about. So apparently the reason why he wasn't on the lot is because you have to pay $500 for a permit to get on the lot. So Meech and them paid for the permit. So now the guy is on the lot. So he telling the guy, his name is Fonzo. So Fonzo, the food truck guy, say, "All right, what y'all want me to do? I know this permit didn't come for free." And so Meech is like, "Oh, we just want you to sell something for us. And he's like, "What is it?" And they say, "Some rocks." And he said, "Nah, no deal, man." So Terry's like, "Man, so Meech put some money down, a whole stack of money. He like, "If you do it, this is what your cut'll be every week." And he was still kind of like, "Nah, man, I ain't interested." So Terry like, "You in this dumper truck, don't you want better for yourself?" And so they start to arguing. And so Meech was like, man, hold up. So Meech, we getting to see the development of the brothers. Like, Meech is more level-headed, and he's really good with people. He know how to talk to people to kind of get what he want. Whereas Terry, although he's very book smart, he is hot-headed. And so Meech talks to the guy, and he's like, "Man, come on now. We all have dreams, dreams of things as kids that we wanted to do when we grow up. What was your dream? And so he's the Fonzo said, man, I always want to own my own restaurant. He said, well, dude, you could do it with, with all of this money, think the long game, not the short game. So bottom line, the guy agrees to go ahead and let them use the food truck and get his cut. Next, we over at the hospital, and we see somebody was. We know it's not Terry because Terry's at home. He's at the hospital, so we see somebody walking in with some flowers and a balloon that's covering their face, right? And they go into this room, and we see that is Fimmel is in the bed, jacked up. I mean, he got bandages around his head. His face is swollen. His leg is in a cast. He is messed up. And so when they pull the balloon and flowers down, it's nobody but Lamar. I said, well, this was back in the day. Because these hospitals need some security. Damn, between this and what happened on on the Canaan, so he just walks in there. And Filmer's not dead. He's alert. He's not in a coma or anything. He's awoke. He's woke. And when he see Lamar, he start trying to. He can't scream because evidently his mouth is wide shut, and he trying to push the button for the nurse to come. And Lamar pull it away from him. So Lamar basically told him, "Look, what I want you to do when you get out this hospital, I want you to take a road trip for the rest of your life. I want you out of here." And he, while he telling him this, he's squeezing on his face, so he in pain. And Fillmore is just looking at him like, if he wanted to just scream, but he can't. And so he said, "You understand me? You understand me?" And he said, "Shake your head, blank your, do something to tell me you understand me." So Fillmore start blanking, which means he understand. And so then he walk out. So before he walk out, he look and he see that Fillmore, he done urinated on himself because not in addition he already in pain, and you in here antagonizing him. And Lamar gonna say, "I do a lot of things for friends, but bedpans not one of them." And he walk out. That Lamar ain't. Oh, he mean. So then we go over. Meech and Terry are at the strip club, and Terry's like, "Man, what we doing here? We know, we gotta be out. We need to be out here making this money for Pat. Why are we in here?" And it's a real dingy, seedy. Like Meech was like, Terry was like, "Man, we could at least be, over on the other side of town at the, at the good strip club. You got me over here in this hole in the wall." So Meech just sitting there observing, and what we find out he's doing is a lot of the guys from the factory. That's where they go. That's the strip club they go to. So what he did was he tipped the girls extra to find out which of the guys in there use. So while they sitting there, here come Pat out of nowhere. Terry like, "Man, where Terry like, "Man, where he came from?" So he like, "What y'all doing in here? Y'all supposed to be out here making my money. I want my money." And you know what? Since y'all got time to waste up in this dirty strip club, I'm moving up the due date. Y'all got 3 days to give me my money. So they like, "Dang, man." So one of the girls, Meech had tipped one of the girls, so she goes over to this guy and starts dancing, and she kind of gives him a signal that he one of the ones that use. So Meech slides up to him, and he's like, the guy's like, "Do I know you?" And Meech like, "Nah, man, but you need to." And he slides. He said, "Yeah, I heard you like to have a good time." He said, "I'm a slide." He said, "I got something for you on the house." So Meech is smart. He playing the long game. And might I add, I know we all know that this is the real Meech's son that's playing the role of his dad. He's doing a really good job. I'm not gonna even front. I think both of them are doing. Terry, the guys that play Terry and Meech are doing really good. As each episode goes along, I like them better and better. So we see a little episode with Terry. Terry's baby mom is at the house and with the baby, and so the daddy come home from work, and the daddy's playing. He said, "Oh, I'm glad to see my grandbaby." So then he started asking her about that. He said, "Yeah, you mentioned you told the cops about your uncle bought that car. Where he live at?" So she had an excuse. I guess she really do have an uncle. She just added a little bit extra to it about the car, because the daddy knew it was some BS when she said it, of course, and the mama too. And he said, well, yeah, I'd like to meet him, sometime. And she's like, okay, So then we see Meech is outside the house. He outside in the car smoking. I guess he had done brought Terry home. And the mama pulls up and he like, oh man. So he tried to put the cigarette out and stuff. And so she gets in the car. She said, what I told you about smoking in front of this house. And he said, I ain't got nowhere else to go, Mom. I just brought Terry home. And she said, I just checked with the mortgage company and they said it was paid in full. Did you do that? And he said, yeah, I did it. She said, I told you to leave it alone. Now, how am I explaining this to your daddy? He told you not to do it. He want to take your money. And he said, I'm trying to help. I mean, what's going to happen? Y'all gonna be out on the street. I'm trying to help. She said, yeah. She said, but I told you, she said, I love you to death, but you gonna have to learn how to listen. Until I get this handled, don't tell nobody this. So we go back over to the food truck. Meech is out there because they didn't decide to make the deal and everything. So the code word for the truck is Stone Burger. That's what they have to order if that's what they want. So we see there's some tension between Meech and B Mickey because B Mickey is like, so we gotta get in here and sell, and sell the burgers or sell whatever and sell the stuff. So B Mickey was trying to like talk back or whatever, and he's like, you do what I tell you to do. So Kato noticed it again. She's like, what's going on? She asked B Mickey, what's going on? There's a lot of tension between you and Meech. And he's like, oh, it ain't nothing. We just family. We just fall out and everything. She said, well, I don't want to be in no crew where there's some tension. I want to move up. So Meech is out there supervising, and he goes over and he sees the guy that he saw from the club the night before, and he was like, hey man, did you try that? Was it fire? And he said, yeah, it was fire. Where can I get some more? He said, go right over there to that truck and just ask for the Stone Burger. So that's what he do. And B Mickey putting the product in the bag, and then they put the order on top, and it's working like a charm. So Meech go over to one of his other crews, and one of the dudes is over there talking to this white lady, and me said, let's be for real. Let me give you a little history. The voiceover says the 50 boys did not go hang on cars and sell, and they definitely didn't sell to white folks, because that was definitely a alert that the person buying wasn't legit. So we don't do this. So he rounded them up and he said, look, we need to get this money. Whoever sell the most in the next 48 hours, he take the watch off his wrist. He like, go get this Rolex. So that get them to moving. So Meech, I mean, I know Terry's sick and everything, and he got a patch on his eye, but do he really need Terry? Meech over here making moves. He doing what he got to do. So he got that rolling. So then we see Terry and Meech. They went over to another one of their crew, and then the detective rolled up. Steve Harris rolls up, and he's like, get on the car. And they're like, what? And he was serious. He's like, he put Terry and Meech on the car, and the rest of them ran. So that was his way of talking to him without looking obvious. So he got them on the car, and he tell Meech, he say, man, where's J-Mo? He say, ain't nobody seen J-Mo since I dropped them off to you. Please tell me you ain't do something stupid. So Meech lied. Meech said, nah man, I roughed him up and dropped him back in the hood. I don't know where he at. So he said, man, by the way, we got a new task force. So y'all gonna have to watch y'all back. And so Meech was like, that's what we pay you for. He said, hey, look, my hands gonna be tied. I'm not gonna be able to do what I used to do. So they like, damn. So then when they in the car, Terry asked him, when it's just him and Meech, Terry asked Meech, man, what happened to J-Mo? And he go on and tell him about B Mickey and everything. He said, man, how long you known this? Why you ain't tell me what's going on? We supposed to be partners, From now on, I want to know everything. We in this 50-50. And he was like, yeah, all right, man. So what happens is they sell all their stuff, and so Terry is like, we need to pay up the crews or whatever. Meech is like, nah, what we gonna do is we gonna take this money and pay Pat back and get him to give us some products so we could start doing stuff on our own. Once again, Meech mind working. So Meech goes over there to pay Pat his money, and so he goes in there, and the guy lets him in, and he said, "Yeah, knock on the door." Because make sure you knock on the door because they got some girls back there with him. So Meech go knock on the door. So when he they let him in, and he sees that Pat tried to hide it, but he sweeps it away. Pat in there using. So he take the money and he like, oh yeah man, and you can say he is high. Pat is toe up. So Meech sees that and he like thinking to himself, probably this a weakness. This dude in here using. Nah, we got to get away from this situation. So he didn't even talk to Pat about them getting their own product and stuff at this time. I guess he was gonna wait until he wasn't high or whatever. So the next scene is Terry's party because they're having a party for him, since he's out the hospital and everything, and it's at a bowling alley. And then one of Terry's teachers roll up with his homework because he's supposed to be a real good student, and that's where I really clicked and remembered that these guys there's some young cats. They're like 15, 16 years old. So the guy brought his homework, and the teacher brought his homework, and his girlfriend was like, "You really had your teacher roll up in here with your homework?" So Meech gets there, and Terry goes over and talks to Meech, and he said, "How did it go with Pat?" And he said, "We're gonna talk about it later." He said, "Nah, man, we'll talk about it now." Meech said, "Man, let's just talk about it later." So Kato comes through, and Terry asks her, "Hey, what's up?" She like, "What's up?" And so Terry asks her, "Where be Mickey at?" She said, "I don't know. I ain't his keeper." So we see she tried to distance herself from B Mickey. But when she answered Terry's like, "Hey, don't talk to me like that. Who you think you talking to?" And then Meech was like, "Man, just let it go. She don't know nothing. She don't know nothing. Just let it go." So then Kato goes straight to the bathroom. Right? So she gets in the bathroom, and I'm like, I thought B Mickey was hiding in the bathroom. I didn't know what was going on. Who all in the bathroom except Lamar? That's right, Lamar in the bathroom. She said, "Ain't nobody see you coming here, right?" He said, "Oh, I know how to get in places without being seen." You know? So he talking to her, and evidently he had done cornered her somewhere else and, said to meet up. I'm like, the nerve and the audacity. You gonna meet up at Terry and them place to get info on? Ooh, that's dirty. You could have met her somewhere else, but I guess he did that. Lamar is crazy, but he crazy like a fox. He did that to let her know that, I want you to know how devious I am. So first he's like, she's like, "Look, why you coming at me like this? Terry and me, they been good to me." And he like, "Look, I'm just trying to take over, and if you know what's good for you, you'll come, you'll be an asset to me, and I'll make sure you taken care of on the back end." So he said, "I need to know, I need some eyes in the crew." So she tells him, "Well, all I know, something going on with B Mickey and Terry." And he look at her like, "Girl, let me tell you something. I want to know everything. I want to know where they keep their weight. I want to know where they keep their money. I want to know everything." And then he locks the door, and he said, "I don't have no. There is no exit plan." So basically, she never should have went in that bathroom in the first place. But he basically threatened her when he locked that door. So I don't know. They didn't show it all. He told her. She told him, but I'm sure she spilled the beans. So then we go back on the floor where they bowling and stuff, and Meech is always watching. He always looking around. So he noticed one of the crews from one of Lamar old crew. He noticed one of the guys, and he tell Terry. He said, "Hey, ain't that so and so? Used to be whatever the name of Lamar crew is. Used to roll with them." And Terry's like, "Yeah, man." And then the camera pan over, and Lamar done stayed for the party. Got a lot of nerve. So they see Lamar, and he looks straight at Terry and Meech like, "Yeah, what? I'm here." And so Meech Terry's like, "Yeah, that's probably the ones that shot me, man." So he kind of like look like he going in that direction, and Meech pulling back. Meech say, "Nah, man, we gonna handle it. We gonna handle it." So once again, Meech is like the voice of reason. But yeah, Lamar up in there with that look on his face, yeah, like, yeah, I'm about to take over. Because when they pan over to Terry and Meech boys, the 50 boys, be Mickey and them over there flashing money and acting crazy. And then Lamar and them over there looking like, we, we fixing to come through. So Terry girlfriend is ready to go. She at the party. She's like, I'm ready to go home. He like, well, I ain't ready to go yet. So he give her the keys. He said, here, take the keys. Go on home if you ready to go. So when she get home, when he get home, she, she ready to argue. She say, he said, you act like I sent you home on a bus or something. I sent you home in a new Mercedes, a brand new vehicle. What you mad for? She said, you didn't even walk me out to make sure I get out safely. She said, I'm tired of you. Look, I done lied to the cops to you. I lied to your parents. I lied to everybody for you. And you treat me like I'm disposable. And I don't like it. So they go back and forth, and he talking about he gonna do better and all of that, and they make up. That ain't gonna last. I can already see the writing on the wall. So the daddy evidently went to the bank to work out a deal for the mortgage, and he finds out that the whole mortgage had been paid. They didn't put the money down. So he thought the church had paid it. So he said, you went to the pastor about this. I told you I didn't want them in my business. And the mom was like, no, I didn't. He said, I need you to go back and fix this. She said, I didn't, the church didn't pay for it. Meech did it. Meech did it, and I didn't know he did it. I found out after it was done. So he said, well, how long have you known? And she said, I know, for a couple of days. He said, you didn't tell me. He said, well, I want you to undo it. She said, how we going to undo it? It's already been paid. And so he started raising his voice at him. And he said, I told you, you do what I tell you to do. And I was like, please don't, don't hit their mouth. But she was like, you don't tell me you don't talk to me like that. You don't tell me what to do. Don't talk to me like that. So then Terry comes out the room, and he's like, y'all stop arguing, stop arguing. So then the daddy's like, oh, so you want Meech to be the man of the house so bad. He said, let me tell you what. He took his keys off the key ring and threw it on the table with the mortgage. He said, you let him be the man of the house. I'm out of here. So he leaves. So I don't know if he gonna come back or what, but that's what happened. So the final scene, Meech goes over to Lamar's baby mama house. I don't know her name. Is that Cash Doll? I think that's Cash Doll. I'm gonna have to find out her real name. So he go knock on the door because now he know, that Lamar is out here trying to make moves on them. And probably the ones that shot Terry. So he go knock on the door, and he like, look, I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you. And I think she told him, she said, where you been? You ain't been over here. You ain't been answering your page or whatever. He said, I've been taking care of stuff. He said, but I need to talk to you about, it's important. I need to talk to you about Lamar. And she moved over, and who up in the house? Lamar. I guess he over there visiting his daughter. So he at the door, and so him and me start going back and forth. And then, because Lamar taunting him, like, yeah, I'm up in here. What you gonna do about it? And so Meech tell her, oh, it's over with. It's over with. And Lamar said, it been over with, dude. So she just standing there looking dumb. And so they slam the door, and Meech walk off, and he like got this look on his face like, yeah, we at war. This is gonna be, a problem. So that's it for the episode. I covered as much as I could. If I did miss anything, let me know. This was a good episode. Like I said, BMF moves really quickly. I like that in a show. It's not boring. It's a lot of things going on. So I appreciate you listening to my review. If you made it all the way to the end, please thumbs up for me and subscribe to my channel, because I will be back here next week giving you the rundown. And y'all take care. Thank you. Bye.